On the surface, Briarwood was the kind of town that locked its doors but never really believed it had to. Sunday mornings were sacred there. Church bells at 9, lawn mowers humming by 10, the smell of coffee drifting through open kitchen windows. Nothing loud, nothing urgent, and that's exactly why what happened felt impossible. Because in Briarwood, monsters were supposed to come from somewhere else, not from inside the Civic Hall. The smell no one wanted to name it started as a complaint written in blue ink on a maintenance clipboard. Strange odor in storage wing. Check plumbing. The building's supervisor circled it and wrote beneath, probably mold. By the next day, the odor had grown heavier. Not overwhelming. Not yet. But persistent. Sweet. Metallic. Wrong. Two janitors argued about it in hushed voices near the folding chairs. Dead rat, one said quickly. Too big, the other replied. They laughed after that. The kind of laugh people use when they don't want to think too hard. No one imagined that behind a false wall, wedged between outdated stage props and dusty banners from events long forgotten, was 29-year-old Olivia Harper. No one imagined she had been there for nearly 3 weeks. The last time she was seen, Olivia was the kind of person people described as quietly ambitious. Freelance graphic designer, part-time bookstore clerk, the kind of woman who carried a sketchbook everywhere but rarely showed anyone what was inside. On the Sunday she disappeared, she told her sister Megan she had a meeting with someone from the Civic Hall about a rebranding project. It's not huge, Olivia said, pacing her apartment while on speakerphone. But it's steady work. What's his name again? Megan asked. Marcus. Marcus Doyle. Public building? Middle of town? Broad daylight. Megan teased. You'll be fine. Olivia laughed. At 5:48 p.m. she sent her last text. Heading in now. Wish me luck. It was delivered. It was read. She never replied again. The man with the key, Marcus Doyle, had a calm voice. The kind that made people lean in. 36 years old. Volunteer events manager turned temporary city contractor. Divorced. No criminal record. He had keys to the Civic Hall. When police first questioned him, he seemed cooperative. Yes, we met, he admitted. She pitched some design ideas. We disagreed about payment. She left. What time? Detective Rowan asked. 6-ish. Did you see her leave the parking lot? I assumed she did. Assumed. That word hung in the interview room like smoke. Because Olivia's car had never left her apartment complex. The security footage no one expected. The Civic Hall cameras weren't meant to catch murderers. They were meant to catch vandals and insurance fraud. Grainy. Monochrome. Time-stamped. Still, they saw enough. Sunday evening, 6:01 p.m. Marcus's key fob opens the side entrance. 6:03 p.m. Olivia's phone pings near the building. 6:17 p.m. Both devices stop moving. Then, Monday morning, 7:18 a.m. A dark sedan pulls into the nearly empty parking lot. The sun is barely up. The town still yawning awake. The driver steps out. The trunk opens. The figure stands there for almost 3 full minutes. Not rushing, not panicking, thinking. Then the trunk closes. Wrapped in tarp. At 7:41 a.m., the same figure exits alone. The trunk is lighter. The car leaves. The search in all the wrong places. Meanwhile, volunteers searched rivers. Divers dragged murky water. Police brought in dogs to comb wooded areas. They knocked on doors, printed flyers, posted on social media. Tips flooded in. She was seen at a gas station. She argued with someone at a cafe. She might have run away. But no one searched the Civic Hall. Why would they? It wasn't abandoned. It wasn't remote. It wasn't dangerous. It was municipal. Safe. Official. That was the brilliance of it. And the horror. Behind the wall, when maintenance finally unscrewed the false wall panel, one of them gagged before they even saw her. The air inside was thick. Time had been sealed in there. Olivia was curled awkwardly, as if placed rather than fallen. Her handbag rested near her shoulder, her phone beside her hand, almost arranged. Detective Rowan would later say that was the moment he felt something shift. This wasn't disposal, he told reporters months later. This was concealment. Whoever did it believed no one would think to look inside a working public building. They were almost right. The small mistake. For days, Marcus remained calm. He repeated his story. She left angry. He stayed late to finish paperwork. He went home. Then forensics found something small. A single latex glove near Olivia's body. Inside it, traced DNA. Marcus's. When confronted, he said he often wore gloves when moving equipment. Anyone could have left that there, he insisted. But then digital analysts uncovered something more chilling. At 7:02 a.m. Monday morning, just minutes before the car appeared in the parking lot, Marcus searched. How long before decomposition smell escapes a sealed room? Another search followed. Can drywall contain odor? He hadn't returned to hide her. He had returned because he realized she would be found. He thought tightening the wall would buy him time. It did. 3 weeks. What really happened that night? Prosecutors reconstructed the final hours. The meeting likely began professionally, but somewhere between budget disagreements and raised voices, something shifted. Forensic evidence suggested blunt force trauma inside the storage wing. There were no witnesses, no screams reported, just thick walls, old curtains, a building empty on a Sunday evening. The argument escalated, and in that quiet, civic space meant for town meetings and holiday performances, violence bloomed. Afterward, Marcus faced a choice: call for help or hide it. He chose the wall. The courtroom was packed every day. Residents who once booked bake sales at the Civic Hall now stared at photographs of its storage wing on projection screens. Marcus never looked at Olivia's family. He kept his hands folded. The prosecution's final words silenced the room. You searched the river, the prosecutor said. You searched the woods. But she was hidden in a place that represented trust. That is what makes this crime so disturbing. The jury deliberated for 7 hours. Guilty. The part that still haunts Briarwood. The Civic Hall reopened months later. Renovated. Fresh paint. New storage layout. The false wall is gone. But something else remains. Because people still drive past that parking lot on Sunday mornings. They still remember the grainy footage of a trunk opening in the early light. They still wonder what Harold Benton might have seen more clearly if he had looked longer. And they still think about one terrible, unsettling truth. For weeks, while the town searched everywhere else, while volunteers waded through rivers and combed forests, Olivia Harper was hidden in the one place no one thought to suspect. A place with city keys, fluorescent lights, and a welcome sign out front. A body found where no one looked. And the most chilling part? It almost worked.